Welcome to the Math Tutor. Today we are going to look at a very sensitive issue in both math and physics, practicals, physics practicals, and math in general, both A and IGCSE advanced level, both math and physics, and generally science. So we are going to talk about significant figures and decimal places. Many times, many students, many candidates confuse the two, all right? So today in this session, we are going to talk about the two so we can get the difference between the two. You've seen questions in math asking you to write a particular number or write a particular answer to a certain number of significant figures. You have also seen some questions like the quadratic section that we looked at, where they always tell you to give your answer to a particular number of decimal places. So today we are here to talk about significant figures and decimal places. Alright, so let's start. So we shall talk about significant figures first. Significant figures first. Alright. First of all, significant figures, sometimes it is always they are written in short as SGF, significant figures, SGF, alright? So, there are three major rules that follow significant figures. These rules, you have to memorize them, alright? Rule number one is that a non-zero digit is always a significant figure. Always a significant figure. So any number, any digit that is not zero is counted. Rule number two, any zeros between digits, between digits is a significant figure. I'll explain this in detail as we continue. Okay, any digits between, any zeros between digits, these are always significant. I think here we should use R. And rule number three, which is the last rule, final zeros after the decimal, some people prefer calling it a point, decimal point or a dot, alright? Okay, are significant. Well, I would say the final zeros, I'll explain this in detail, like zeros that come after numbers. Okay, I'll give an example here. You'll understand it better with an example. Alright. For example, if we have 0.500 like this, these zeros here are significant figures, and the zero on this side is not. This is not, and this is a significant. These are significant figures. So when you're counting the significant figures in this whole digits, you say there are three significant figures. Okay. Another example could be 6. Okay, you can say 0.632000. Now these are counted, okay, as significant figures. You understand? But this is not. Okay, so the final zeros, this is what I meant by the final zeros. The final zeros after the dot are significant. But look at this situation. If you have zeros, for example 006, before the digits, the zeros before digits, these ones are not significant figures. Okay, they are not significant. Zeros before digits are not significant. In fact, we should, I think, create rule number 4. We should write it in black here. Rule number 4: zeros before digits are not significant. Well, here we go. We have the rules that will guide everything about significant figures. Alright, so I hope you understand this. Okay, now continuing about when we are adding addition and subtraction. Well, addition and subtraction doesn't really have a lot of trick. You just have to count the number of significant figures, okay? And the number of significant figures in each number would be the number of significant figures in the answer. For example, if we have 2.342 plus 1.43, it may be 0. Okay, let's add. So this is 2773. So these are 4 significant figures. This is addition, and same will go for subtraction. 1.430. If you're subtracting, still same thing. You can see that this is 13. So we get 9 and then 0. You can see that for subtraction, it is automated, it is automatic from the previous, from the numbers involved. And when it comes to multiplication and division, something is supposed to be considered. So here, you consider the number with the least significant figures. Okay, so I'll write it in green, that the number with the least significant figures determines the number of significant figures in the answer. Okay, so these are the general rules of significant figures. Alright, so I hope they make sense and I hope you understand better. Alright, okay, so a quick example, because it would be rude to end a lesson without an example. Sorry. Alright, so if we have, for example, write 4.31627 to 3 significant figures. Oh, alright, let's think about it. So when they say 3, okay, you have to count 3 digits in the whole number, like the whole of this, you count 3 digits, and the 3 digits will be 4.31. Okay, now you look at the fourth. This is first, this is second, this is third, and this is fourth. So you look at the fourth. After writing the 3 that are required, look at the fourth. Now, if the fourth is 5 and above, alright, you add 1 to the last one here that you wrote, the third one. So the fourth is 6, it's above 5, so you add 1, And when you add 1, the final answer will be this. So these are 3 significant figures. Does this make sense? I hope it does. Do you understand? Okay. Now, if, same question, if they had said write two significant figures, we would write the two numbers 4.3. Look at the third one. The third one is below 5. So if it is below 5, you just delete. You delete the rest of the numbers. Alright? So since the third one is just 1, it is less than 5, so you delete the rest of the numbers and then you write 4.3. Just like that. Be careful, don't add zeros, because if you do add zeros, you remember this. This rule. Final zeros after the decimal are significant. So if you add zeros, okay, it will be a mistake. So it is just 4.3. Alright. What if the number was, right, 0.00672? Two significant figures. You know the rules that zeros before digits are not counted. So generally this one is 3 significant figures. So if they want 2, you write 0.0067. Look at the third one. If it is smaller than 5, you delete it. If it is less than 5, if it is more than 5, add 1 to a 7. Be careful not to add a 0 if they have said significant figures. Okay, I hope you understood that. Let's quickly talk about decimal places. Now, decimal places are, you know these ones. For example, ones, units. Some people call them ones, tens, hundreds, thousands. Okay, so these are decimal places. Okay, and then if the number involves a dot, okay, I'm putting a dot. No, this will be wrong. Okay, I'll write them. For example, if we have a dot somewhere, a decimal point, okay, so the number before the decimal point is units. But remember, as I told you, sometimes it's called ones. Then tens. Then the next one here is hundreds. Then thousands. Then they continue. But after the dot, we have tenth, hundredth, thousandth. Then they continue. The difference is, after the dot we don't have units, but before the dot we have units, and you name them moving to the left. These ones are named to the right. Okay, unlike numbers without a dot. These here explain numbers without a dot. Ones, tens, hundreds, you start from the... Okay, basically, I'll put this in simple terms. There are ones, tens, hundreds, thousands. So if a number has a dot, this is the arrangement. You read them from left to right, okay, before the dot. And if on the right hand side, you start from 10th, okay, you start from 10th and you continue. Alright, so let me get some examples and then we conclude the lesson. Just a second, getting some quick examples. Quick examples. Alright, so for example, write 2.5634 to 2 decimal places. Now, if they say 2 decimal places, your attention should be at the numbers after the dots. In significant figures, you consider every digit in the number. In decimal places, numbers after the dot. Okay, so 2 decimal places to be 2.56. 2 decimal places, these are 2. So the third one is less than 5. Same rules apply like for significant figures. Delete them. And this is it. Don't add a 0. What if we had said to the nearest to the nearest 10th, for example? Remember the decimal places. So 10th is just after the dot. So they want you to consider this number. So in this case, the answer will be 2.5. This is the nearest 10th. And then, because the next number to the 10th is above 5, add 1. And then it will give us 2.6. Do you understand? I hope you do. And I hope this video helps you understand the decimals. I hope this video helps you understand I hope this video helps you understand decimals, decimal places and significant figures. See you in our next session. Remember, this session is very useful to everyone taking science and math. Okay, it's very, very useful. So I hope this helps you understand. See you in my next video. Subscribe, like and share. Bye bye.